Okay folks, Captain Paul here, and this week's video, Wednesday video, we are going to talk about surveys. As you know, we just did a survey on Southern Estate, but I want to talk about it in a little bit more depth, like I promised you I would, because a lot of people buy these boats, and like I bought a Southern Estate with no survey. Harold just bought the Bristol 42, no survey. Blue Max was bought with no survey. I want to talk about that a little bit in today's video. And then next week's video, hey honey, what have I done? And in today's video, I don't know if anybody watches the movie A Few Great Men or A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson, but in that movie he says,
"You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Can't handle the truth." And that's what a survey is all about, if you can handle the truth or if you can't. And we'll get to that in just a minute. I want to thank everybody this week. It was just a fantastic week. And I got to tell you, when I say it's a fantastic week, it is a fantastic week in the fact, of all the people that I've talked to, all the boat deals that are going down right now. But then there's also this frustration. And then again, we're going to get into that in next week's video as it even gets more frustrating or less frustrating. We'll find out in next week's video. Because I kind of like, I don't want to say I use the word project managing, but I'm helping with one of the boats that I'm selling, and I'm kind of managing it a little bit from down here. And it's just the relationship with the vendors, the whole saga of after you buy the boat needs some work, and it can't get any work done, and I can't get any response from the vendors, and I don't know what's going on half the time. And I'm trying to sell this boat, and it's just so fucking frustrating. It's unbelievably frustrating. Anyway, we're going to talk about that in next week's video. And I don't cuss much, but it is extremely frustrating. All right, anyway, so what I really want to get down to today is, what was in my mindset when I bought Southern Estate? Because here's a boat. I had purchased Loop Princess, and I bought that boat. I did do a survey on it. I did use at the time I thought I was using a reputable surveyor, but I found out later on, as I grew and my experience grew, I found out that this was not a reputable surveyor, and I don't need to call anybody out by name, but if you guys know me privately or reach out to me, you know what I'm saying. I would not let you make the same mistakes, and I have seen people that have made the same mistake fall into the same trap. And the same thing happens to them. And you got to be very, very careful out there who you're dealing with. And the best way to do that is use a SAMS or NAMS certified surveyor. That is the best way. I mean, and then see their stamp and see their qualifications, then you're using a true surveyor. But then there's also times when you want to use that surveyor, like the surveyor that I use down in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Anyway, and you got to determine what's right for you, what's right for the boat, and what's right for owning the boat. A lot of these surveys, I've surveyed so many boats now. All of them have the same issue, every single one of them. A perfect one to call out on an example, sorry Mike, but we're going to use your boat as an example today. 44 Tollycraft. We've been looking for a long time. A lot of junk out there. A lot of these boats are, with 3208 cats in them, and the motors are all tired. They got 4,000 hours on them. You can't even get them to the boat yard. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's insane. They want $140,000 for this 44-foot Tollycraft. And like I told the lady, I said, look, the boat has been surveyed 5 times now. Nobody's bought the boat. That should be a sign that you're selling the boat for too much money after 5 freaking surveys. Anyway, the boat's still listed. I just can't believe I can't believe a broker would even take the listing at this point. And I told her, I said, you got a $75,000. I was just honest with her, and nobody wants to hear the truth. But I was just being honest with her. You got a $75,000 boat at best. That was a really good price on that boat. She got old, tired cats in it. And the boat is, it's got moisture issues everywhere, which all of them do. Nobody gets away from that. Nobody. I don't give a shit if it's a brand new main ship. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what boat it is. They all have that issue. If you put something in water, you have moisture in your hull. Okay, it's that simple. And anything with wood in it has 20% moisture in it. So, and you can't pull the moisture meter on top of your teak decks. I always joke around saying, you know, when you're looking at boats to buy, I don't want to do teak decks because I don't want to mow the grass. I don't want to take care of those teak decks. And I can show you a couple of examples of people that have spent hundreds and thousands of dollars a year trying to maintain those teak decks and keeping them right. But the problem is once you put a screw through those teak decks, now you have leaky tiki decks. The ones that are glued down properly, like on Blue Max, those decks are fine. But the ones that are screwed down, when you stick a screw through your through the hull, that's when you got leaky tikis. And it's all going to come back in your survey. So the point of this video is, do you survey or don't you survey? And a perfect example this week is, you know, and sorry Harold, I'm going to pick on you a little bit. Harold bought the Bristol 42. Love the engine room in that boat. And we're cleaning it up. I'll show you this video right here. We had to change out we're changing out the entire cooling systems on both engines. And it's just part of that particular engine, the starboard engine, the one I'm working on right here, which the name of the engine is Knockers because she has a loud knock in her. And then Smoothie is the other engine on the port side. But anyway, Knockers here, we are changing the main cooler out in it, the heat exchanger, and the oil and the transmission cooler in her. And I'm also going to detail that engine because the other engine looks very, very good, all detailed out. And when he gets that engine room detailed out, man, it's going to be beautiful down there. My favorite engine room, there's 3 of us down here right now. I got my 44 Marine Trader. Michael's on the 43-foot Blue Max, incredible boat. That's a single engine. And then Harold's down here on the 42 Bristol. Out of all 3 boats, my favorite engine room, because I don't know, you just walk down, the way you walk down the hatch, the way you get into the engine room, and then the way you're able to work on the engines, by far my favorite boat out of all of them. And when we get that engine room all detailed, it's going to be beautiful. But here's the question, and this is what this video is really about. What if Harold bought that after? Harold's done now 5 surveys, including the Bristol 42, which he did the survey after the purchase, just like same thing with Southern Estate here, survey after the purchase. And the reason is for insurance. You cannot get full coverage insurance on these boats if you don't have an out of the water survey. And then whether you purchase the boat without a survey or you purchase the boat with a survey, to get insurance on it, you have to have that survey. So that's why he did it. Now, what if he bought the boat had he done a survey on the boat? And my answer, I want to hear Harold's comment down here. What if he purchased the boat? And the answer for me, I think probably not, because I've been through 5 surveys with him. He didn't purchase any of those, and this boat it doesn't have more or less issues. It has the same issues as all of them, every single one of them. This boat, you know, it didn't survey any better than any other boat that he did, but there's a lot of fancy, you know, it's got some Corian countertops and a couple of new electronic pieces on it. So but it's also the style of boat that he's been looking for to travel with his pets. He wanted that trunk trawler. He wanted that deck go around. The boat is really clean on the upside. It's when we go down below where it starts to fall apart a little bit, and not bad. I mean, it's got a good working generator. It's got a solar system on it. It's got, just a lot of good qualities about the boat. But after he did the survey, would have he purchased it? Probably not. Or he would have negotiated maybe even a little bit lower on the price, and then he may have negotiated. But I don't think he would have purchased it knowing what he got himself into. And that's what this video is really all about. Would have I purchased Southern Estate had I done a survey now that I've seen the survey? Would have I purchased? Absolutely, 100%. I mean, but I also picked that boat up at a really good price. What I felt was a really good price. And, the buck value on this boat right now is $100,000, right at $96,000. But that includes this, really expensive solar system that it has on it and the dinghy. If it didn't have those, it's got a brand new dinghy on it, a 2023 dinghy on it. So if it didn't have those 2 features, you could knock $10,000 off the price of the boat, and it would have been like $86,000 would have been the buck value on it. But I got a $5,000 dinghy on there, and I got probably around a $15,000 solar system on it. And so they gave me literally about $5,000 credit for it, and that's about what you get. And so be careful of what you wish for. I tell everybody that, you know, that's what this video is really all about. Be careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it. And in this market, you know, we'll break down a little bit here, because where should you be if you're looking at a boat? I mean, if you're looking at a boat to do America's Great Loop, or if you're looking at a boat to do, to live aboard, or whatever reason you have for buying the boat, that matters what boat you buy. So, you know, do you do a survey? I think it's that's a reflection of where you're at in the process, and what boat it is, and what kind of deal you're getting on the boat. The best thing to do is, you know, you can call me, or you can look it up online and just pull the BUC, B-U-C, value of the boat, and that gives you a start line of what the insurance company and you know, the insurance company and the banks are looking at. I don't believe in financing, so there are certain situations where financing a boat, you know, a lot of people do it, and there is reasons to do it. But I'm a, you know, cash is king type person, and, you know, I live on I try and live a debt-free lifestyle and not have to pay any interest to anybody. So, you know, all my credit cards and everything are paid off every single month before that's the first thing that's paid off before I eat groceries, basically. So that, because that's just my principles of life. 10% goes to savings, 10% goes to investment, 10% goes to charity. Anyways, you know, I'm not going to get into all that, but it's just the basic principles of, you know, why I can pay cash for, you know, this $100,000 trawler, basically, and how I can afford to live out here in the Florida Keys is because of those simple principles. But so when you're there, like, what, you know, when you're looking at these boats, and it doesn't matter, again, whether you're looping it, whether you're living aboard it, whether you're taking it to the Bahamas, whether you're taking it to the Keys, whether, you know, you've got to look at your situation, and you've got to look at the boat, and then you got to make that determination of whether you put the do a survey on it or not. I can tell you right now, again, I'll go over this one more time. I've purchased Loop Princess. I did survey the boat. I didn't have a very good surveyor, and I didn't do an out of the water survey. Had I done an out of the water survey, I probably wouldn't have purchased the boats, because I found out the boat had osmosis, whatever that moisture in the hull is, and that ended up costing me a lot of money. And then I chased that huge mistake. I got to do a video about that one day, because the Bristol actually had the same thing going on in the hull, and why I chased it, and then I did the repairs on it, but it cost me so much money that the boat wasn't even really worth it. And I should have just put bottom paint on it, been done with it. But what happens is a lot of these boats, the bottom paint gets built up so thick that eventually sometime that old bottom paint has to come off, and then you have to do a bottom job. And that's where I was at, basically, on Loop Princess. Had I known that, I probably would have stayed away from that boat. Where Southern Estate is completely opposite. We got a blister-free hull, you know, and you can even now you can look at down there and see where, even on from this here right here, there's a couple of bare spots in here, because we want all the paint to come off of there before we put our next bottom job on there, because then you're not building coats. So we use a a blading paint. So every time the boat moves, is, you know, the paint's supposed to come off of there. And that way you don't build those layers and layers of coats. Anyway, just something personal for me. Anyway, I hope this video helps you guys and just kind of get your mindset. You know what do you do? We got a bunch of surveys going on this week. We got through a bunch of surveys last week. You know, again, I'm super frustrated with the stuff that's going on one of the boats that I'm helping with. And I hope that gets resolved, or we move on and the boat moves on, and, you know, that we get it to somewhere where somebody can help, because down here in the Keys, it's merciless because we don't have a Volvo dealer. So we got to rely on, you know, other people's help, and not having a dealership, you know, it gets complicated. It should be another video for another day, talking about why Ford Lehmans are so important to all of us. You know, it was very important to Michael to have a Ford Lehman. It's very important to me to have a Ford Lehman. It's very important to Harold to have Ford Lehmans, because they are the most economical engine, naturally aspirated, not the turbocharged versions. The naturally aspirated versions are the most economical boats to run out there. And anybody that has any common sense can figure one of those out. And Harold even found that out this week, because he's out there, he's jumping in front of me, changing out the coolers, and he goes, you know, it really wasn't that bad, Paul. And I go, yeah, it really is. There's no rocket science to it. You just got to get down there and do it. We'll do a video about that one day. Anyway, peace out. I want to hear your comments. You know, are you in the boat market? You know, if you're a beginner boat buyer and you're in the boat market, are you going to do a survey? How many surveys have you done? How frustrating is the market to you right now? Or how good is the market to you right now? And, you know, finding these jewels is very, very complicated. And it's not an easy process. It can be very, very frustrating. But, you know, you've got to have in your heart, all of your heart, that you're going to go out there and you're going to live on this boat, just like I did. And you're going to make that your priority, and you're going to make that your life. If you don't have that, you know, don't buy a boat. It's that simple, because that boat's going to turn back on you, and it's going to leave a mark, and it's going to hurt. And it's going to take everything from you at some point. And what I mean by that, I mean, you know, your time, your money, everything, to get one and then get it up and running, or buy one, spend the $100,000 and find one that is up and running. But that's very, very complicated and very, very hard to do, because very few of them can pass a survey flawlessly. I've never seen one. So, you know, I guess it is possible, but not on these 40-year-old Taiwanese tollers. It's just not. Anyway, peace out. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. This week, lots of Bible study, lots of studying. Anyway, again, love you guys. Thank you so much. Anybody needs any help, please reach out to me. I'm here to help you. Thanks. Bye.